Engineering and Management Department. I have the privilege of hosting the inaugural ceremony of the International Faculty Development Program on application of human-centric AI in manufacturing, pharmacy, and management. To formally commence today's program, I now invite Dr. Farin Sharma Sir, Coordinator of the EDP, Associate Professor and Dean Academic Affairs, ShriRam College.
Am I audible?
Yes, Fanaz. I think there is some network issue. Yes, you.
Good evening to all respected dignitaries, extreme resource person, faculty members, and dear participants. It is my great honor and privilege to warmly welcome you all to this faculty development program. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a heartfelt welcome to our honorable chief guest, Shri Sachin Agrawal, Executive Vice President, Eicher Volvo. I also welcome Shri Jitendra Sharma, Honorable Vice Chairman, and Srimati Nishta Sharma, respected Joint Secretary, Dr. Premanand Singh Chauhan, Faculty Development Program Chair and Director General, advisors, resource persons, executive officer, director, principals, deans, and all heads. I also welcome all the dedicated participants who have joined us today. Your presence adds immense value to this academic gathering. Faculty Development Program serves as a powerful platform for intellectual growth, research enhancement, and professional excellency. In today's dynamic and technology-driven world, the continuous learning and skill updations are essential for academic leadership and innovations. The Faculty Development Program aims to provide a meaningful insight, practical exposure, and forward-thinking perspective in the concerned manufacturing, pharmacy, and management domain. I am very confident that the expert session and interactive discussion will enrich your knowledge and inspire your knowledge and ideas. I encourage all participants to actively engage, share the experience, and make the most of this opportunity. Once again, I welcome you all and wish the program a grand success. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma Sir, for setting the tone of this FDP with your insightful and motivating words. With great respect, I now invite a distinguished academician, administrator, and visionary leader, Dr. Surendra Kumar Agarwal Sir, Advisor, FDP, and Group Director, ShriRam Group of Colleges, BAMO, to kindly address the gathering.
Surendra sir, kindly unmute yourself. Yes. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, you are audible. Audible, clear.
Okay. Good evening to one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest of today's function. Today's program, Sri Sachin Agrawal ji, Executive Vice President, Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicles, Indore. All the keynote speakers, all the participants, my colleagues, and on behalf of ShriRam Group of Colleges, I extend a very warm welcome of all of you. Being the head of the institute, I would like to share brief note about the ShriRam Group of Colleges. Our group was established in the year of 1998 by Dayal Shiksha Samiti Morena, offering BTech and MTech programs in different disciplines. The first venture of the group was ShriRam College of Engineering and Management. The second venture of the group was ShriRam School of Business Studies, offering BCom, BBA, and MBA programs. The third venture of the group, that is ShriRam School of Pharmacy, offering B Pharma and D Pharma programs. We have also a very wonderful school that is affiliated by CBSE up to the class 12, that is ShriRam International Public School. We have organized international conference in the month of December, IC4M, in association with CRC Press, that is a group of Taylor and Francis. We have also planned one international conference in the month of April that will be in the association with John Wiley Publications UK. I wish you all the participants, I hope that you all will be definitely benefited by attending this 1 week international FDP. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring and visionary address. Your guidance and encouragement has truly strengthened the spirit and purpose of this faculty development program. It is now my proud privilege to invite a visionary academic leader whose guidance and experience continue to shape the institution and inspire the excellence. With great honor and respect, I request Dr. Premanan Singh Chauhan, sir, FDP, Chair and Director General, ShriRam Group of Colleges, to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you, Pallavi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Sachin Agrawal, respected members of management, distinguished speakers, esteemed advisors, coordinators, faculty colleagues, researchers, and dear participants. Very good evening to you all. Namaskar. Once again, it gives me an immense pleasure and a deep sense of academic fulfillment to warmly welcome you all to the International Faculty Development Program on applications of human-centric AI in manufacturing, pharmacy, and management. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, the president of the Institution of Engineers, Sri R.K. Khetanji, and to our eminent speakers who have graciously consented to share their valuable time, expertise, and global perspectives with us. Joining this multidisciplinary program with participation from 5 countries, I take this opportunity to sincerely appreciate the dedicated efforts of the organizing committee, especially coordinator, and the entire academic team for their thoughtful conceptualization and meticulous planning, integrating engineering, pharmaceutical sciences, and management within a single unifying framework is indeed a challenging endeavor. And the team has accomplished this with remarkable clarity and purpose. The chosen theme is not only timely, but also transformative, reflecting the evolving needs of both academia and industry. Now the question is, why human-centric AI? Friends, we are living in a fascinating yet challenging era. Artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept. It is already deciding, predicting, optimizing, and automating. But the crucial question before us is not whether AI will shape our future. The real question is how it will shape humanity. This is where the idea of human-centric AI becomes crucial. Human-centric AI is not about replacing human with machines. It is about augmenting human intelligence, enhancing human judgment, and preserving human values. In simple terms, technology must work with humans over humans. This philosophy aligns perfectly with the emerging paradigm of Industry 5.0, where the focus from automation and efficiency to collaboration, sustainability, resilience, and human well-being. One of the strengths of this FDP lies in its interdisciplinary scope. In manufacturing, human-centric AI enables safer factories, collaborative robots, predictive maintenance, and zero-defect production, while ensuring dignity and safety of workers. In pharmacy and healthcare, AI supports drug discovery, personalized medicine, diagnostic and regulatory compliances, but must remain ethical, explainable, and trustworthy. In management, AI influences decision making, supply chains, human resources, finance, and strategy, raising important questions about governance, leadership, and accountability. Thus, AI is not confined to a laboratory or a production line. It is influencing how we teach, how we research, how we manage, and how we serve society. That is why programs like this FDP are essential, not optional. Dear faculty members and researchers, in this AI-driven transformation, you are the real change makers. You shape the curriculum that students learn, the research questions that define innovation, and the ethical compass that guides tech. Our responsibility is not only to teach tools and techniques, but also to cultivate critical thinking, interdisciplinary collaboration, ethical sensitivity, and lifelong learning. As educators, we must prepare students not just for today's job, but for jobs that don't yet exist, using technologies that are still evolving. Friends, India stands at a unique and historic crossroads. We have one of the youngest talent pools in the world, a rapidly growing digital and AI ecosystem, a strong government initiative supporting AI innovation and manufacturing, and a rich civilizational ethos that values human welfare and inclusivity. If we combine technological excellence with the human values, India can emerge not merely as a consumer of AI technologies, but as a global leader in ethical, human-centric AI. This FDP is a small but significant step in that direction. Over the coming days, participants will benefit from expert lectures by distinguished academicians and industry leaders. I encourage all participants to engage actively, ask questions, share experiences, and explore opportunities for collaboration beyond this program. Remember, an FDP is most successful not by the number of sessions, but by the new ideas, partnerships, and research directions it inspires. Before I conclude, let me share a simple thought. Technology without humanity is incomplete, and the humanity without wisdom in technology is vulnerable. Human-centric AI reminds us the progress and compassion must move together. I am confident that this FDP will contribute meaningfully to enhancing academic capacity, strengthening research culture, and aligning technology with societal needs. Once again, I warmly welcome all dignitaries, speakers, and participants. I wish this FDP every success and look forward to enriching deliberations in the days ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, sir, for clearly outlining the vision, objective, and roadmap of IFDP HCAMPM 2026. Your address has provided clarity, direction, and renewed enthusiasm for the section ahead. It is now my proud privilege to introduce our chief guest for today's inaugural ceremony, Mr. Sachin Agrawal, sir. Mr. Sachin Agrawal, sir, is the Executive Vice President and Head R&D and Technology at Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicles. He leads a team of over 800 engineers involved in the complete development of truck and buses for both Eicher and Volvo brands, covering powertrain systems, electromobility, hydromobility, connected solutions, embedded software, advanced technology development, and virtual validation, vehicle engineering. He is the key member of executive management, the Volvo Eicher joint venture, and has played a pivotal role in developing BS6 compliant diesel and CNG product range in house. With extensive global exposure, he also leads synergy programs for technology collaboration with Volvo. Mr. Agrawal is a postgraduate in design engineering from IIT Bombay, with US Fulbright Scholar and a Fellow of the Leadership in Management program at Carnegie Mellon University, USA. He also served as a chairman of the Founder Technology and Innovation Group of SIAM. So your presence today is matter of great honor and inspiration for all of us. With the utmost respect, I now invite Mr. Sachin Agrawal sir to kindly address the gathering and formally inaugurate IFDP-HCAMPM 2026.
Thank you, Pallavi, and thank you, Dr. Premanand, for inviting me here. I think I can see that there are a lot of great dignitaries present here, a lot of faculty members, and I can see a lot of doctors on the screen. So I can very well understand that probably the knowledge level cumulative in this group is probably, if not less than 1,000 years, it will be around 1,000 years for sure. So with that type of group, probably I am not very talented to talk about this subject, uh, purely because this subject is so wide and evolving that today whatever we talk or today whatever we discuss, it will be totally different when we talk about this subject next year. However, what I would like to do, or what I would like to share in next 10 minutes, is more about the approach that industries are taking towards AI and how AI and innovations are linked very closely. Because whatever we see today on AI, first of all, we have to start believing that whatever we believe today is not was not getting believed 20 years back, or whatever will happen 20 years back we will not believe today. So these are some of the things which we have to think very deeply, that innovation is something which drives all the industry progress, and also artificial intelligence is also coming out of such innovations. So if we go back, say 1962, everyone said that Beatles, they are bad. Nobody liked the guitar music. Nobody liked their sound. In 1977, if we talk, uh, people said there was a company called Digital Corporation. Their president, Ken Olson, he said that there is no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. And today, what we see, that even 2-year, 3-year-old kids can also work on computer. At one point of time, and people of my age, we can very well relate that a pen drive, 640 kilobytes pen drive, that used to be enough for anyone. Today, we have 1 terabyte of pen drive. Then, if we see US Patent Office, way back in 1899, they said that everything that can be invented has been invented. So 1899, I'm talking of a period where probably if we see today, inventions have just started. There was one statement from Bishop Milton: man will never fly because flying is for angels. Now, it is a common statement if we think older time. But if I tell his complete name, it was Bishop Milton Wright, and he was the father of Orville and Wilbur Wright, who actually invented air traffic or aircrafts. So this was the situation. If we see that everyone believes that uh, whatever is going to happen in future will not happen. So what we have to learn is that it is not the strongest of species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but it is the one most adaptable to change. All of us have seen Nokia, all of us have used Nokia phone. And in last speech, Nokia CEO, he said that we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we failed. Now, what is difference between say Nokia and if we talk about Apple? Nokia was following what is there with customer and what improvement should be done on the product that is available with customer. Whereas if we think about Apple, Steve Jobs says that you can't just ask customer what they want and then try to give them that product, because by the time you get it built, they will want something new. So that is where AI is also today, because whatever is happening today in AI, next few years, it will be totally different. So coming back to the industry, in last several years, we have seen industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. And when we are talking of industry 5.0, some of the key elements that are coming are related to Gen AI, machine learning, or say, cyber security, those type of thing. So this is the industrial landscape which is progressing. Similar to that, if we see technology disruptions that are happening in automotive world in last 10 years, there is a lot of focus on CO2 reduction, alternate fuels, on electromobility, hydrogen mobility, autonomous vehicle, distillation. If I see only the fuel landscape, today how many types of fuels we have? We have diesel, we have gasoline, we have CNG, we have LPG, biofuel, biodiesel, hydrogenized CNG, LNG, ethanol, methanol, DME, electric. These are the all type of fuel that are options available today for customer to use. Similarly, we are talking of electrification, wherein we are all of us are seeing that industry is moving towards electrification, and by 2035 probably 35% of vehicles will be electric. Now, one very important thing which is driving use of AI in automotive industry is distillation. And what is meaning of distillation is what we see today. Maybe when we are in 2020, we are talking of ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance System. We are talking of infotainment. We are talking of body module, security module, connectivity, engine controllers. But next year, or maybe next 10 years, what we are going to see is going to be totally different. 10 years down the line, definitely industry will be filled of vehicles that will be software defined vehicles. They will not be simple vehicle where it is partially mechanical, partially electronic, but they will be mostly controlled by softwares. So that is the progression that is going to happen. And when we talk about ADAS vehicle to autonomy, what is most important is that you sense, uh, sensing is possible through sensors, etc. But to process the inputs from the sensors and from various signals that you get from cameras, etc., you have to use your intelligence, that artificial intelligence, to convert it into something which can be used by product as feedback. So what is happening is that software and content is taking over the vehicle's value, similar to smartphones. Today, smartphones, uh, sometimes we feel that what is happening on a smartphone, we never ask for it, but it automatically gives you several inputs. If you open the Google, it will tell you what you actually want to see. If you have searched one page, it will definitely give you many pages similar to that. Same thing is going to happen on automobile side. And things which are going to help these things is, one of the primary thing is artificial intelligence that will help in accelerated design, database decision, dangerous simulations. Like for example, we have a lot of work now on braking system, because if you are talking of driverless cars or driverless trucks on the road, it is not possible that it is basically, if it is driverless, you can understand that it is running through artificial intelligence, and several simulations have to be done considering the traffic condition and other thing. And also artificial intelligence is helping into rapid software development, test automation. See, at one point of time when we used to study mechanical engineering, CAE, the major thing used to be meshing. There used to be a lot of engineers who were getting paid only to do meshing. Today, if you go to CAE and you see that all the meshing work is done automatically, there is no one who is doing actually meshing as engineer. So those are the type of thing, and AI in vehicle distillation, if we see, it enables smarter, safer and efficient vehicles. It can simulate dangerous scenarios as I see without any risk, because physical simulation will be very risky on those things. And it has got few challenges, like it has got a data bias and incomplete data sets. There is lack of explainability and accountability, and over reliance on AI versus human judgment. That is one very critical aspect. And as Dr. Chauhan was also mentioning, that it is very important that we have excellent human and AI collaboration to achieve superior outcomes. And we need to have safety first methodology in practice, whereas we have AI plus traditional engineering methods. We validate AI with very good real world data and edge cases. We have transparent models and data inputs, and AI ethics and compliances have to be followed rigorously. So when I talk of AI in automotive manufacturing, uh, today AI in transportation market, if we see, it is around US dollar 1.7 billion. This is last year data. And what we are projecting is that by 2032, this market will reach US dollar 15.7 billion. So this is a CAGR of 32%. That is the type of growth we are looking at. So what does it mean is that AI is going to transform the automotive manufacturing. So this rapid adoption is actually being driven by breakthrough innovations in autonomous driving technology, predictive maintenance system, and real-time fleet management solutions, which are basically transforming the heavy vehicle manufacturing landscape. Some of the innovation leaders in this area, if we see some of the suppliers, it is Siemens Mobility, Intel, Bosch, and if we see from OEM side, Volvo Group are pioneering AI-powered manufacturing processes and also intelligent inspection systems. And industry is basically positioned to leverage global AI trends amidst rising demand for smart mobility. That is for sure. So there are a lot of AI-powered automated inspections are there. Autonomous factory transporters are getting used now everywhere in the industry. And some of the challenges like high implementation cost or technical complexity or data security concerns. These are the key focus area today for the propagation of AI in various areas of automobile manufacturing. One very important aspect that also all of us have to be considerate is that very strong regulatory framework is coming around AI and human factors. Again, just to repeat, it is very, very important that we keep human factors in mind while implementation of AI. So to sum up, I think the future of vehicle manufacturing is being reshaped by artificial intelligence, with AI technologies projected to reduce operating costs by billions of dollars annually on a global scale. And for India, if we talk, these innovations represent a transformative opportunity to enhance safety standards, advance sustainability goals, and dramatically boost productivity across the manufacturing and logistics sectors. So, if I have to sum up at last, I can say that we are fortunate that India is filled with a lot of talent, young talent. I think one of the best young talent pool we have got, and excellent age on the software side. Now, today we have a lot of students who are being trained to become coders. Now, as faculty members, because all of you, most of you probably are faculty members who are grooming our young talent to tomorrow go into industry and contribute to various organizations. I would request all of you to, instead of making them coders, make them learn how to bring this type of advanced technologies related to AI, machine learning, those type of advanced technologies. And this is an opportunity. See, today also, if we see US is running on the talent which is produced by India. Now, next opportunity is future belongs to India. I strongly believe that future belongs to India. 10 years down the line, India is going to lead the world. And if that has to happen, India has to take the lead on AI. Today, I think your IDP, when we are talking FDP, today when we are talking here, I think Modi ji is also at the same time, he is also having similar conference, probably on much larger scale, where country heads of 20 countries are participating. All the key industry leaders, they are here, whether we talk of Google or any key organization, all their organizations heads are here in Delhi or attending this conference. Why they are here? Because they know that future of AI belongs to India. Chandrakant is also here, and he is from Volvo. So I can just mention one example from Volvo. Now Volvo and Daimler have created a joint venture called Coltura. So this joint venture is to develop a platform for software-defined vehicle, and software-defined vehicle is primarily driven by artificial intelligence. And they are going to set up, after Gothenburg, the second largest base for this Cultura. They are going to set up in India, in Bangalore. So anyone in the world who is thinking of AI is thinking of India. So we have this large opportunity, and all of you as teachers, it is responsibility in your hand to groom students in that direction. So thank you very much. Sorry, I've taken slightly more time. So thanks a lot, and hopefully you will have great learning experience next 3 years, which you can then contribute to students.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and forward looking address. Your insights into technology, leadership, innovation, industry transformation, and human centric innovation has truly enriched this inaugural session. As we move forward towards the formal conclusion of this inaugural ceremony, it is my privilege to invite Engineer C.S. Kohli, sir, Dean Faculty Welfare, ShriRam College of Engineering and Management, to deliver the vote of thanks. I request Engineer C.S. Kohli, sir, to kindly present the vote of thanks.
Dr. You are on mute, I think.
Sorry, I was muted.
Yes.
Good evening to all. On behalf of SIAM College of Engineering and Management and the entire organizing team of FDP, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this inaugural ceremony. I express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sachin Agrawal, Executive Vice President and Head Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicle. Sir, your insightful address on technology, leadership, innovation, and human-centric AI has truly inspired all participants and set a visionary tone for this FDP. We are deeply honored by your gracious presence. I extend my sincerest thanks to our respected FDP Chair, Dr. Premanand Singh Chauhan, Director General, ShriRam Group of College, for his motivating words and continuous encouragement in promoting academic excellence and innovation-driven education. My special FDP, Dr. Surendra Kumar Dr. Surendra Kumar Agrawal, Group Director, ShriRam Group of Colleges, for his valuable guidance and support. I also appreciate the effort of FDP coordinator Dr. Fareen Kumar Sharma for his warm welcome and meticulous planning of this event. I express my gratitude to the Institute of Engineers, Gwalior local chapter, for their association and support in strengthening this academic collaboration. My sincere thanks to all distinguished speaker, resource person, faculty members, and delegates from various institutes who have joined us for this FDP. Your participation make this program truly meaningful and impactful. I would also like to acknowledge the dedicated effort of organizing committee, technical team, media team, student volunteer, and our host, Ms. Pallavi Sharma and Ms. Prisha Singh, for conducting the ceremony so smoothly. With this, we look forward to a highly enriched and interactive faculty development program in the coming days. Thank you all once again for your gracious presence and support. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sachin sir. So without any delay, Pallavi madam, take the charge of the first session.
Thank
Rupesh.
you. Thank you very much.
It is indeed a great honor and privilege to warmly welcome our esteemed expert speaker for today's session, Mr. Rupesh sir. Mr. Gupta is an emerging technology evangelist, author, industry speaker, and thought leader with over 29 years of experience in leading and executing large-scale organization-wide transformation program across multiple industries. He brings deep expertise in artificial intelligence, automation, Lean Six Sigma, operation engineering, design thinking, and management consulting, enabling measurable business transformation across enterprises. He has an extensive experience in industry academia collaboration, fostering meaningful partnership that bridge research, innovation, and real-world expertise adoption. Currently, he leads the AI Center of Excellence (COE), AI Platform Strategy, AI Talent Transformation, and Hyperscaler Partner Management, driving expertise scalar AI adoption and value realization within the technology and innovation group. So now I request sir to please take over the charge for the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Pallavi. Thank you, Dr. Chauhan, for inviting me for this session. Really
It's my
delighted
pleasure.
and looking forward to this interaction. What I'll do, first, I really congratulate the organizers for this. I see this, the topic is very, very relevant, intriguing, and of course requires attention of everybody, right? And that's why I feel that um, this will be really interesting. I'm inside office Teams channel. I'm sure that my teams will keep pinging, so maybe I can get distracted sometimes, and please excuse me for that. I'm sharing my screen now just to. Okay. I'm not very used to Zoom. We generally work on Teams and Google. Okay, all right. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, all right. This picture primarily depicts the human and AI collaboration aspect. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Application of human-centric AI in manufacturing, pharmacy, and management. I really felt that application of human-centric AI is today the challenge for every industry that we are connected with. And thanks for this initiative for a very, very important initiative, right? Which is ShriRam College of Engineering and Management for doing this for faculty development program. I'm happy to contribute in this process. I hope that this interaction will bring a couple of points which we can take forward to, right? The way I want to follow this, as we are talking about Industry 5.0, I certainly wanted to sort of look back and also bring a view of Industry 3.0 and 4.0, and then talk about the 5.0. While we talk about history, we also need to perhaps take view of that what lies ahead, right? And that's why I thought that let me just bring in some predictions which is about 2026 and beyond, and then talk through that part, which really gives a view that how the world is changing, how volatile this world is, and how can we prepare ourselves for that, right? And that's where I thought that let me bring the view of organizational view, that just a snapshot of the organizational view, right? There are a lot of things happening within the organization, and I'm sure there's a lot of things happening within across the organization, across industry verticals, but some view of the IT services organization, right? That what is happening around, that should help. One of the important topic is, and especially for this audience, right, which is about preparing academia for future ready education. It's a big challenge today. While everything is changing, everything is being challenged. Traditional methods are being challenged. Traditional thinking process is being challenged, right? And how academia can prepare for such volatile and such dynamic situation. Maybe some points I thought that it is important to bring out, and hence this is part of my deliberation. At the end of the day, right, whatever organizations do, whatever industries do, there are a lot of things that remains on us, and that's where the call for action, right? That what each of us can do, and hence some of the actions can be personal. I wanted to highlight this particular point because primarily the change begins from self, right? And it is important to perhaps it will be important for all of us to reiterate certain points on that. And I'll be happy to take certain question and answer in case time permits. I see that I'm at 19:12, 19:10 I have started. I would like to finish at maybe 20 there, and then maybe open for 10 minutes of Q&A. Hopefully it will be okay, Dr. Premanand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So first 2 points are primarily going into the data and the history part of it. I would like to just move a little bit faster on that, right? And then the experiential part, which is more about the organizational view and the preparedness for future, how we are doing this, academia for future ready education, and the call for action. I'll try being a little bit elaborate on that particular part. Okay, this is a deliberate attempt to change the speed based on the context. Evolution of industry. Now, this is since we are in 5.0, midst of 5.0, I just wanted to bring the view of the industry 3.0 and 4.0 before we talk about 5.0, and it also gives a very good comparative view. And I certainly see this as not a technological shift only, but it's a philosophical shift, right? That's what we see. Industry 3.0 was all about the automation, started somewhere around 1970, where the computers started controlling machines, right? And the key triggers being electronics, computers, and IT coming into manufacturing, PLC coming there, which is driving the industrial automation part of it. Industry 4.0, there is a shift that happened, right? Which is from automation to smart factories. There's a connectivity and the intelligence came into picture in the industry 4.0, and that brought the shift. This word was coined publicly and formalized at Hanover Messe, Germany, April 2011. Why things changed and how things changed. The emergence of IoT was a very, very important part. Machines started talking to machines, very, very important one. Cyber physical systems, cloud plus AI, digital twins, right? Those things really came and made the changes, forced the changes, right? So while we all were experiencing industry 4.0 just a decade back, and then came the industry 5.0, the key trigger being the pandemic and the more focus on the workforce well-being, right? Society started asking question that how technology is serving people, not just efficiency. There's a paper that was published in 2021, Industry 5.0 towards a sustainable, human-centric, and resilient European industry, right? That triggered this particular aspect, which is, and hence this focus on the human-centric technology or human-centric AI, right? That's we all started talking about. So Industry 5.0 is not a new technology wave, but it's a value and purpose shift that how technology is being used, right? I hope this slide is able to make that distinction clearly. Let's move on. Just to take it further, right, and say that, okay, if I see that what are the key differentiators that is coming out, I thought that let me just bring this view, which is what is the central question in the industry 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. Central question in industry 3.0 is say, how do we automate? In 4.0, we said, how do we optimize systems through intelligence? In 5.0, we said, how do we create value for human and society? That's a very important shift that has happened between 4.0 and 5.0, right? The technology role shifted from being controller to optimizer to collaborator. And we all are talking about the collaboration with AI. Human role shifted from operator to supervisor to decision maker and co-creator, right? The core goals changing from efficiency and productivity improvement to insight and efficiency to human well-being, sustainability, and the resilience part. And AI, of course, the uses of AI changed from being deterministic, rule-based to predictive, data-driven. And then today we talk about explainability, how ethical it is, how augmentative it is, right? But so one of the important point to reiterate that the core principles of human-centric AI is augmentation, not replacement. We want to see this, that how we work together to augment the human capability. It's not about replacing the human capability, and most of the organizations are working on this. Explainability and trust, very, very important factor. Whenever we develop a solution, this is a question that comes from business. Is this explainable? Can it be, how this is making decision? Can we talk about that, right? Ethics, fairness, and accountability, and in human in the loop decision making. We certainly do not want to see this, that the whole decision is being made by machine, which is, these are the core values coming up from Industry 5.0. I want to take it down further, and I thought that let me just bring a view of manufacturing, pharma, and the management and business area, right? So I thought let me just capture a few points quickly. I'll not spend too much time on that, but just to cover on this, right? So evaluation in manufacturing, primarily as we can say automation to human machine symbiosis, and which is across 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0 that is happening. We have already talked about the primary intent, right? The tech stack from the manufacturing perspective, we look at PLCs, CNCs, SCADA, fixed robotics, to moving to IoT sensors, ML, digital twins, and then now we are talking about cobots, co-pilots, etc. Right? So tech stack is continuously changing and evolving on this. Human role, we certainly talked about. KPIs are of course changing, right? From productivity to system integration to human value, or how this is serving human. If you look at the KPI, that makes a sort of continuous change in that direction. Going to pharmacy and life sciences, the shift is from process control to ethical intelligence. And perhaps the intent is reiterating, but tech stack is something specific, right? Which is PLC and SCADA batch control to ERP, then the AI/ML for discovery, digital twins, IoT in plants, and today, explainable AI, human in the loop platform, AI co-pilots, etc. that we are talking from the technology perspective. Human role continuously evolving, but the best part is this, that humans are always ready to adapt, right? And they change based on things that are changing. KPI is changing, and which is if I look at Industry 3.0, more want the efficiency there, batch yield, right first time, cycle time of deviation, and Industry 4.0, time to candidate, trial cycle time, while in the case of 5.0, say patient impact, safety events avoided, explainable coverage, resilience, right? All these are part of the lingo that we are seeing being used in the industry in different organizations, right? Management and business decision, perhaps this happens in every organization, nothing is specific to a domain. Primary intent, remaining a standardizing process, reducing variance. Industry 4.0, predict and optimize decision with data, while 5.0 is balancing performance with people, purpose, and resilience. Purpose has become a very, very important part, right? We see this, that across industry, different organization, right? Purpose is very, very important topic, and maybe some other time I can go into the detail of this one. I'll avoid for today. Tech stack being the ERP, MRP, buy reports, workflows, to moving to real-time dashboards, forecasting, machine learning, RPA, twins, etc. Right? Tech stack primarily moves across different industry in a similar manner, right? But the important part to look at the change, how the leadership role has changed from command and control, reviewing the lagging metrics, right, to approving the algorithmic recommendations managed by exceptions, to the stewarding decisions, weighing ethics, trust, brand, and well-being. Right. So there is a shift that one can see very clearly that is happening in the leadership role also. And KPIs again moves from the cost and the efficiency part to perhaps the effectiveness part, and then the human purpose there, right? And that's the way it is. So the examples that have been put up on the slide, but one can relate with the industry once wherever we are connected with. Okay. So I just wanted to give a flavor of this 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0 for the industry that we are in, and then move on to some of the predictions that we talk about. So this is first topic was primarily about history, right? We say that, okay, that's the way, the journey that we have gone through. The second topic is more about what we are looking forward to, right? And that's where I reached out. I looked at few published analyst report, etc., in the open channel, and say that, okay, let me pick a few which really looks like interesting ones, right? Which gives a sense that where we are moving towards, and focused certainly towards the AI that we are talking about. Now, AI spend crosses $2.5 trillion. It's a big number, which is being led by infrastructure, cloud, and enterprise software. And we all see around this, right? Whatever we are using today, I'm not sure that how many people are really using the AI tools who are part of this call, right? But lots and lots of people have started using ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, etc. in their daily lives. People install mobile apps, right, where all these LLM tools are available, or generative AI tools are available. And infrastructure is a very important part. Unless you have the investment in infrastructure, which basically decides the compute capability and the speed of the output that we are looking for. And that's why this is a very important area where lots and lots of investment that is happening. Today, if you look at a lot of tussle that is happening between US and China, right? There's one of the core important part is the focus around the compute capability, the AI chips that are getting developed, and there's a fight around that that's happening. It's a very important area. Lots development happening, and lots of things expected in this area. Only now what the first point was about the investment. The second point is a little bit cryptic, right? Only 20 to 40% of firms see enterprise level EBIT impact, while 90% of companies use AI. Only 39% report EBIT impact today. Okay, EBIT is earning before interest and tax. That's what the financial terminology that we talk about, right? And so what it says that while there are a lot of things happening, is this really resulting in the outcome? That's still to be achieved at a scale, and that's why 2026 becomes a very important year for achieving the scale, and lots of fighters on that topic. Gen AI contributes $2.6 to 4.4 trillion annually to global productivity. Now, increasing total AI impact by 15 to 40%. Biggest gains is happening in the customer ops, software engineering, R&D, finance, which is some of the reports by McKinsey and MakeBot, etc. One of the key differentiators that some of the analysts reported, which is saying high performers allocate 20% of digital budgets to AI versus low performers that are in single digits, basically indicating that if the organizations are doing good, their budget is on AI is much more than as compared to someone who are not spending that, right, in that area. Agentic AI moves from experiments to scale, and I'm sure that lots of us who are part of the different industry, or the faculties who are part of the ecosystem, they will see this, that we talk a lot about POC, and it is a part of the every organization, where a lot of talk about POC, and the number reduces drastically the moment we talk about deployment, right? But I certainly see that things are improving, things are changing fast, and that's what is represented also by the reports, couple of reports that I have cited here, that we talk about. Few more. 50% of organizations mandate AI-free skill assessment. It's a very important part of it. The skill assessment through AI, and which is coming as a trend, right, and which is being accepted by lots of organizations. 70% of hiring includes AI skill certification. I wanted to capture a few into the talent development area, especially because we are talking to faculties. There certainly see this, that, and this is something, the experience that is happening within the organization. Unless you have AI skill certification, there is a chances of rejections are very high in the organizations today, even if it is not related to AI, right? But it is expected that you appreciate, can understand AI, because it is expected that wherever you work, AI will be part of that, the co-working environment within some time, within months, or either it is already existing or will be part of within a few months of time, right? So that's where, if the AI skill certification is not there, chances of rejection is higher. Workforce skills half-life shrinks from 8 to 12 years to 2.5 years by 2030. We are already seeing this. Very, very quickly, the things are changing. Half-life simply means that if you have something, if you have built up your skill, basically that is going to remain relevant only for a couple of years. Now, once a couple of years gone, the skill that you have got, that becomes irrelevant, and one has to do reskilling part of it, right? I'm sure that this is relevant for all the faculties for giving message to the students who are part of the curricula and the colleges. Job disruption affects 22% of roles. Net job growth continues by 2030. So it's a good and bad both in this part of this, right? Which basically says that net job growth continues, but the job disruption affect 22% of roles, while 170 million jobs created. At the same time, 92 million displacement expected. What it simply means that if those 92 million people, if they are not ready for displacement, there is a problem, right? It simply means that this requires skill building. This requires catching up on the skill part of it. Very, very important. And that's where the massive reskilling is required towards AI augmented roles. Some of the industry, healthcare, manufacturing, services are really truly impacted by that. And slowly, it has remained for long time. Talent capability is coming as a number one constraint. It simply means that there is so much of change that is happening that it is expected that the new talent should be there to take care of the job, right? Which is taking time. And that's where CEOs are expressing that that's a constraint that needs to be it has shifted from technology to capability and execution, right? That's the point that is being made. I just wanted to bring out these points. Is basically talks about future. It gives a sense that what needs to be done and what industry is expecting in current year as well as the years, as we move forward. I also wanted to capture through certain domains the trend that are coming out. Just in the manufacturing industry, software-defined factories. I'm sure that all of us are seeing this. Lots of hardwares, meters, gauges are completely getting replaced by apps, right? And that's where the software-defined factories, where lots and lots softwares are coming in, where the hardwares are getting replaced. Multi-agent design, production loop, multi-agent which can take care of different types of tasks. Human machine co-work, coexistence together. So cobots are coming where it's a collaborative working together with the robots. Physical AI and orchestration, important that we all understand, right? And the resilience plus energy KPIs. Very important that this is becoming the focus of the future in the manufacturing, where how sustainability, how energy KPIs, what we take care of is important. Optimizing the SW in OE, right? Human work as well as the effectiveness of the machines, right? That's important. And designing systems around operator well-being and explainability while giving humans decisions rights reflects the EU Industry 5.0 principles. That is something which is connected with the designing of the system, right? And that was one of the aspect of the paper that's also we talked about as a which was published 2021 is an important part and connected with the manufacturing system. Lots of changes. So the summary is lots of changes expected in the manufacturing industry, lots of things we expect in new year as well as the coming years of time. Just to bring a few points from the pharmacy, life sciences, Gen AI and discovery and validation. Gen AI is getting used wherever we are looking at the deeper insights and the content creation part of it, right? And lots of cases for the pharmacy and the life sciences that are there in the open domain that we can look at. Medtech AI approvals plus life cycle control that is getting enabled through the generative AI that is coming on. Pharmacovigilance augmentation, which is capturing the adverse impact, that is certainly getting augmented because of the the large capability of the language models that have come up, the Gen AI models that have come up, which is really enhancing the efficiency of this area. Privacy safe, patient centric designs using the real world data plus the tokenization, right? Very important one. Improved phase one success. It has really improved, meaning that how this can go to the next phase, and the success rate of the phase one has improved. That's the trend that is coming out, and that's the trend that is catching up for sure, right? So the focus is on patient safety, transparency, bias mitigation, and the human accountability that is aligned with the future and the responsible AI that we are looking at. These are only few trends that I'm talking about. There are many we all can look at. I just wanted to highlight some for the pharmacy and life sciences domain and management and business area. Some of the things, right? Scenario co-pilots with explainability. Now we all within the services organization, IT services organization, I can only say is this, that everybody within organization has got the co-pilot access today, right? So anybody who wants to get some answers to questions, people immediately rush to Copilot, right? In case the documentation is not there immediately available. No, people want to reach out and understand that where from and what's the right answer to this. Multi-vendor, multi-agent orchestration and governance is an important part that we all are doing. Workforce empowerment, human-machine teaming, that's the trend that is certainly coming in. And that's one of the example was the Copilot that I talked about, right? But there are many tools which is we all working together. Agentic forecasting with driverless attribution and the customer trust KPIs. Lots of focus that is happening on the trust KPIs, which is the trend whenever we are talking about the management industry area as well as any other industry area that we pick up, especially because of the inclusion of AI. We cannot trust AI blindly. AI can make mistake, and that's where the KPIs that bring in the focus on the trust, right answer, right outcome is a very important part, which is basically omnipresent in all the industry domains, right? That's what all we are looking for. These are, as I'm highlighting that these are only a few indicators. There are many, but we certainly see that some of the trends that are coming up very clearly for us. Okay, so I wanted to bring on the aspect that if I'm able to capture some of the dynamicity of the environment based on what we saw from the topic number 1 and what we are expecting in the future, how the organization is preparing. And I just wanted to bring some view at that, how we are preparing on from the organization perspective, right? This is a published article which is there on the public domain, right? Which is our AI-led transformation strategy. And I certainly feel that, I am sure that lots and lots of organizations are already working and publishing their transformation strategy, especially when AI is leading the world and AI is coming everywhere. This is something which has been published by TCS. One of the very important pillar of this strategy is our internal transformation, right? We certainly want to see this, that we have to drive AI first culture. everybody needs to get engaged into building AI solution and scale with AI together, right? And that's where some of the tools which are available, which is Copilot, Gemini Enterprise, and some of the other ones, right, which has been made available to large number of associates, right? And which is primarily about the internal transformation and creating a culture where we see that experiment, do the experimentation, see this, that what comes out, and then no, failing is fine, but let's do experiment and see this, that things are going right, or we are able to something that we are trying to do, maybe it was taking many weeks, can we do quickly by using AI, right? That's the experimentation, the culture of internal transformation that's happening at scale. Redefining all services, we are certainly looking at that. We look at our all services and see this, that how we include AI in all, right? And then the services model is human plus AI. We certainly have a lot of focus on the talent building, and I'll try capturing this a little bit more on the next slide also, because of the audience that we have. We certainly want to see that the talent remains the core and the center of the building exercise that we are doing. We identify the future skills and then make the associates ready for future, and there are actions required for reaching to that stage. We bring in the new ways of working, and those are the very deliberate effort from the internal organization that we are doing in. Making AI real for clients, very important that we bring in specific what customers are looking for. We also bring in cross industry solutions and then scale with AI and make AI real for customers, because customers are saying, no, a lot of customers are also saying that, okay, we have heard a lot, but I want to see something in my area, in my domain, in my specific problem. Can you bring in AI and show me the outcome? And we are really focused towards working on that. The last one is the AI ecosystem play. We need to grow and we want to grow with the whole ecosystem. And that's where we have large number of partners with the startups, the large organization, the medium-sized organization, right? We have a framework which is known as CoIN, which is Co-Innovation Network that we call it, which brings in all the partners across, which have the differentiator. And then we work and collaborate with them, right? And of course, there's a part of the strategy, the M&A and the new ventures that we all are focusing on. I just wanted to bring this view to show there's a lots of things happening in the organization because of AI being part of the whole center of the dynamicity that we all are experiencing, right? So organizations are changing themselves accordingly. We are also changing ourselves accordingly, and lots of work that is happening in that area. Okay. Now, so just to double check on the center part, right, which is the talent model, and especially since we are interacting with the faculty development program and the participants on that, I just wanted to bring this flavor. I know there's a very texty slide, but it brings the sense, and let me just explain this. Is the approach of the talent transformation that I'm talking about, right? Now, what do we do? What's this approach is? So first thing is that, within organizations, what are the current roles that are being played? Now, can we look at what is the future role that is going to happen in next 1 year or 2 years down the line based on the changes that is happening, right? Based on the AI infusion that is happening in all the work, based on the old jobs getting eliminated, and then lots of things are getting automated and lots of things are being done by the bots, right? Or the AI system. Can we look at the future role? And if I look at the future role, can we find out what is the gap that is there, right? Considering the current responsibility and the future responsibility. And for that gap, what will be the skill set required, right? That's where the connect is there on this slide. So if I say that, if I just pick up something at the bottom, which is about somebody at the lowest rank within the organization, right, is playing the role, which is a team member, executing transactions as per the guidelines, timeline, SLA, quality, right? Maybe the role will change, which where the person will handle only the exception and will remain as the human in the loop. So in that condition, the role will change as the functional SME to process transaction, which has come from the agent or from the AI agent after this being the exception, right? So the person needs to know that it has to handle that sort of transaction and then provide the feedback to the AI agent, right? If this sort of change that is required, what sort of core skill set that will be required? And the core skill set, when we look at, are primarily into the 4 areas. That's what our conceptualization is. One is domain knowledge has to be there with everybody, be it any domain. The domain knowledge is important. Though lots of domain knowledge will be perhaps get eliminated, the need of memorizing will get eliminated because of the availability of the LLMs, but the experiential aspect will certainly remain, right? So, but the domain knowledge remains an important part of it. Learnability and adaptability has to remain core element of every human being, human workforce, right? Which is learnability and adaptability. Troubleshooting and diagnostics, right? Because we know that we have to work and collaborate with the AI systems. We know that our transactions, which is coming in, either we are building the code is being built by AI now, and I have to review the code and I see this, that, okay, what's the problem? And then push it back, right, for improvement or approve or rejected. The collaboration with AI is the reality, and the technical proficiency that if I am building the code, I need to understand that how this needs to be changed. What is something wrong or right? And that's where the domain knowledge, learnability and adaptability, troubleshooting and diagnostic, and the technical proficiency is going to remain as a core part of the any skill that we look at. Okay. So this slide, I'm not going into the each one, explaining each part, but the key point is current role, what we are doing, or current role from the students who will be, who will be placed in the colleges, who will be placed in the organizations, maybe next 2 years down the line, what sort of role they will be playing, which we need to look at today itself and change accordingly, right? And prepare them accordingly. That's where perhaps the faculties can play a very, very important role, right? So domain knowledge, learnability, adaptability, troubleshooting and diagnostic, and technical proficiency remains a very important aspect of whatever skill set that we are talking about. I just wanted to bring this point, and that's why this approach part I just wanted to share. Now, preparing academia for future ready education is a very challenging ask in the today's context, right? When we are not very sure that how fast things will change, right? Something we are expecting 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, maybe within this is only a couple of months away, right? You have all seen this, that in last 2 weeks back, Anthropic announcement, and then the lots of organizations across industry started falling off, primarily because it felt that, okay, there are lots of things now will move to the AI. Now, can we really get ready for that? It's not easy answer to that, right? And then we are saying not only getting ready, but we now keep our current generation ready for that, where the change in curriculum, it has its own cycle time. Faculties being ready, it has its own cycle time, right? It's a very challenging environment, but that's where we have to make an attempt. And that's why I thought that let me just bring in this topic. Preparing academia for future ready education. I wanted to cover it like this, right? So let's say that it's a gap assessment as well as so what industry needs today? If I wear the hat of somebody in industry what we expect from a new recruit is the day one productivity. It says that, okay, person joins in and we can put into the open position and then starts working immediately, right? And productive from day one. Industry needs minimal grooming, retraining cost. We don't want to spend that, okay, months are put up for training and then being trained, and then perhaps those days are getting over, right? If you look at lots of organizations used to recruit and then give 6 months of training, 9 months of training, that is shortening very, very quickly. And across industry, that is happening. AI-enabled problem solving. That's what the industry expects. Gen AI, agentic, hands-on. People who are coming in, they should know that how to use, right? Human plus AI teaming. They should be able to work and collaborate with the AI systems which are available. Hyperscaler tool chains. Now, hyperscalers are continuously coming up with new tool chains, which is continuously evolving. And you say that, okay, no, industry needs that the new recruits are able to work on that. Interdisciplinary application is a very important part. Then outcome-based thought process. This is part of the grooming that we do for everyone, and that's what industry expects. Mental agility and the soft skills, right? So some of the aspects, I'm not sure that this covers lots of things, but the core points are getting captured there, right? Now, if this is what industry needs, if you look at the practicality, right? We all have gone through the education system and we all recruit people who are going through the education system, right? What is the practicality? How the delivery is happening? We certainly have experienced a theory-heavy curriculum. We certainly have experienced limited modern infra where the labs are not available, or if the labs are available, they are inadequate. And especially in the current context, when there is a lots of investment required on the compute capability, etc., I'm not sure that how many labs are really equipped for that, because that costs money. Minimal human AI collaboration, standalone labs without AI infrastructure, exam-centric assessment. These are the practicality today, right? From the academia perspective. Now, if this is the case, what are the key reasons? Why are we saying that there is a gap, right, between what industry needs to what is getting delivered? The arduous process of change in curriculum. Experiencing something outside to associating with the change that is happening in the technology, to making that change in the curriculum is not easy, right? First thing is that needs to be drafted. It has to go through the levels of approval because of the credentials of the institutions itself, right? That's associated. It's a long process. It doesn't happen. Now, it's an open question. How can that be faster? I'm sure that the faculties and the academia leaders will look into this to understand and think through that how that can be made faster, because that's must. It is required, where the process of change has to enable fast change, right? That's very important. Faculty not equipped with technological changes. Now, it's a reality that faculties have been trained on something. They are the experts in certain areas, but the technology changes and the fast technology changes disrupting everything, right? It is expected that the faculties change themselves and get equipped quickly on that, right? Then only that will be passed on to the students. How can that be done? And again, it's an open question. There's no silver bullet. There is no answer to this, that how this can be done. But this is a point to be thought through, that how can faculty be equipped and completely onto this, the fast technology changes that is happening. Inadequate industry exposure for teaching staff. Almost similar point, but it is the industry exposure, right? It is about academia. We know, without naming the institutions, I have been part of a lot of very prestigious institutions and working with very, very eminent professors. Lots of time I have found that there's a big gap between the practicality and the theory. And primarily it comes because of the lack of the industry exposure. if we know that how A plus B is equal to C, that's there on the paper, which can be explained, how this can get applied for this industry, right? That's a very different concept, and that comes only through the industry exposure. How will that happen? Will frequent visit to the industry, frequent collaboration with the people within industry, looking at the problem of the industry, then thinking through the academia. What is the solution? No silver bullet. I do not want to give any specific answer to this, but these are the open questions, right? And that's why I just wanted to bring it at the key reasons there. Limited AI infrastructure in lab. Most of the labs, the infrastructure is not up to the mark. Of course, that the demand is very high, where the compute capability is required, or what students wants to experiment with is something requires money, which has its own process of approval, right? But important part, this needs to be captured. If this is captured, students will be better prepared. Dynamic upgradation in AI tech, and we all see that this is continuously happening, continuous changing. Organizations are like Microsoft, Google, etc., almost like investing $500 billion, $400 billion just to upgrade the AI tech, right? That's the way the race is going on right now, right? Which is a challenge for, it is a technology challenge, as well as the brings the challenge for the academia, that how will we cope up with that sort of fast-paced change. Now, lack of business impact, aligned KPIs and the compensation structure. And I do not know how many academia really has this for the KPI for the faculties, which says that your KPI is not only number of students passing with X number of degree or number of score, but what's the business impact that is being made for the industry that they are going to, or how many are productive on 01 day one, right, and which are completely aligned with the business. Now this is again a thought process, right? Because if things are to be looked at, we need to understand that there are certain gaps to be filled in, and this is one, again, that's the point. And the compensation structure aligned to that KPIs and the performance on those KPIs, right? I certainly feel that this is perhaps very few organizations really follow that method. Perhaps that can be looked at. Now, this is only a generic view, right? This is not a view for all, but it's a view which needs to be looked at for bridging the gap, especially in the context when we are working in such a dynamic situation where technology is changing so fast. The demand from students or who are joining the new organizations is completely different as compared to what it was a few years back, and it will keep on changing at a fast speed, right? It simply means that academia also needs to do something about this, come out of that mode that they were in. I'm sure that academia is already working on this. Maybe the speed needs to be looked at. Okay. Now, these are certain possibilities. I thought that if I have brought the problem statement, let me just bring view of some of the solutions, which is foundational alignment, establish industry advisory board. Again, these are all the open suggestions, right? Or I'm not sure that is going to work for everybody, right? But establish industry advisory boards and map curricula to roles to identify skill gaps in AI workforce needs. Scaling AI integration, integrate Gen AI in courses, launch co-taught studios and develop hybrid AI labs with cloud and GPU resources. Institutionalizing AI readiness, accelerate curriculum refresh cycles. Now, accelerating curriculum refresh cycle, very, very important. Now, AI literacy certifications, research cell, aligned with accreditation bodies, outcome-based evaluation and apprenticeship for faculty and students both. It is not only for the students, but outcome-based evaluations and apprenticeship for the faculty and students both. That is required, right? Replace exam with portfolio evaluations, formalize apprenticeship pipeline for real-world experience. These are only some of the suggestions. Not necessarily that this applies to all, but I'm sure that this will apply for a few organizations for sure, but this can be looked into the right context. Now, I just wanted to bring this point here. Some of the points that we are doing is in the organization, and the organization is doing for the preparedness. while I have raised certain problems, points as the root causes, I have also tried giving a view of some of the solutions there. I also wanted to bring this point that some of the things that are being done in the organization. The reimagination of future talent aligned with the technology changes. One view, as I showed in one of the slide which I was talking about, this is a continuous exercise that is happening on regular basis. We have the largest learning management system platform, or if not largest, one of the largest for sure, right? Which is getting enriched on regular basis. We have the collaboration with knowledge partners, Udemy, LinkedIn, third-party partners, Coin Network, etc., where all the courses, what the associates want to do, they just need to go and search, and they can enroll themselves. The cost is borne by the organization in terms of doing any course, right? That is, so large part of 99% of the courses will be available as a free of cost, where some of them will cost, right? But no, and that is primarily achieved through very strong learning partner ecosystem that we have created. Close collaboration with hyperscalers with access to lab infrastructure knowledge base, right? We work very closely with all the hyperscalers, Microsoft, Google, and AWS, etc., and lots of other partners to see this, that we have the continuous access to the knowledge base as well as the continuous access to the lab infrastructure, right? Which creates a win-win situation for all of us, helping in developing the solution as well as taking to the customer. We have the academic interface program. Now, this is one program which is primarily we do a lot of collaboration with the academic institutions, right? So we develop different courses which are run within academia, right? And the next point is primarily talks about that. We have created lots of bachelor courses which are part of 50 plus universities, which is a much lower number. Numbers are much higher now, but 50 plus universities where we have the bachelor courses launched. Now, which are those bachelor courses? Only those courses where know that is applied for the industry today, right? And that's where the bachelor courses are, because we want to have the students coming out of those universities productive on day one. And that's where such courses have been designed with the collaboration of the academia. You have University Academy program for preparing students within colleges, where we have the faculty members from our organization that go there. They work as faculty, meaning that they spend few hours as faculty, right, within the academic organizations, train the student. Now we bring in the lab facilities. We see this, that we give them the real life task. We handhold them, ensure that they are completing that, and then they are ready for the placement, right? So that's where the University Academy program that comes into the picture. And of course, we collaborate a lot with the different industry forum, etc. So there are lots of things that is being done in the organization, which I'm sure that lots and lots of organizations are doing. It is not only about the organization that I belong to, but I'm sure that is being done. But these are certainly few things that can be done on consistent basis by most of organizations for accelerating the bridging of the gap that we see. Okay. So most of the points I think that I have covered till now, and I stand at 19:59. I had planned for a couple of minutes more, and hence I just wanted to bring focus on the call for action. As I said, changes happen in the organization, but it is very, very important for all of us to personalize that change and have the ownership of certain action points. In this slide, I just wanted to highlight a few larger as well as the personal level. Call for action, shift from learning AI to working with AI. Very important that we are just not learning, but start using the tools. Start using whatever is available, right? And there are plenty open source where it does not require investment. It primarily requires the intent, right? Re-anchor oneself in core human strengths. Now, very important. When AI is coming up, we re-look into our core strength, which is critical thinking and systems thinking, judgment and accountability, creativity, empathy, and contextual reasoning, which is very, very well done by human being. Move from siloed expertise to interdisciplinary thinking action. Extremely important that we just don't think only in domain. If I am a medical practitioner, I cannot just think about in that domain without understanding the IT, without understanding the pre and post, that how it will impact, how it will get impacted if there is something being done into the AI area, how this will impact my customer. So there are lots of things which is completely connected. Engineers must understand business and ethics. Managers must understand AI capabilities and limit. Faculties must blend theory plus application plus context. Very important for all the faculties to just take note of that. Redefine education as continuous capability building. It is not about the certification and the courses. It is continuous learning. Everything what we learn is as we are talking about that it is within 24 to 36 months that utilities is going off and there's a requirement of the new learning, right? So that's where it stands. Actively participate in industry academia co-creation action is for all of us, and happy to be here as part of the industry and being part of the academia. Perhaps this is one part I'm trying to make. And the last one, take personal ownership of future readiness action. This perhaps is the most critical one. Things will change and things will keep on changing. It is important for us that we take the ownership of the change that we want to be, right? And that's where we need to keep on asking regularly, am I still relevant if my current tools change tomorrow? What we are using today, it changes tomorrow. Can I work effectively with intelligent systems today? Am I preparing myself for the future? It's a part of the continuous strive and continuous journey, right? I'm sure that if faculties do this themselves, they'll pass on this to the students that they are coaching, mentoring, and working with, right? Very, very important point. That's it. Thank you so much. I just wanted to cover this and then to make certain points with everybody in project. Thank you.
Yes, Pallavi ma'am.
Yes, sir, we are there. Loved your session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm open to, if there are questions, I can try answering.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Sir, your session is wonderful. I have attended your session thoroughly, but I have one question in my mind. Sure. As you have told that you have given us the feedback on the industry academia gap. So in that, the thing is, we all know very well what the faculties are teaching. This is the theoretical aspect they are teaching. And as you are saying, everyone is saying, the students are saying, faculties are teaching just theoretical things. We are not having the exposure, industry exposure. Promoters are saying, everyone is saying that faculties are not updated. But on the other hand, the criteria or the eligibility for to be a faculty in any institution is graduation, post-graduation, and PhD. No industry internship is mandatory here. So when the faculty go to the institution, got selected through the procedure, and after taking this much of long time, spending this much of long time taking this education, and right now all are blaming the faculty. I'm not saying to you, it's just a common thing. We are listening every day. So I don't think, you don't think so. There must be some initiative for the faculties. See, as you people or the industry people are sending some people to the institution to teach the student. So you people also must discuss with the promoters or the stakeholders must discuss about this question. And you must initiate that, send the 10 or 20 faculties after every semester. So we will train them.
Yeah, I know it's very important point. This is Dr. Anupama Agrawal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much, madam. I think this is a very important point. The buck does not stop at you. That's for sure, right? It's the whole system issue, right? It is, as you said, that you all are qualified and that's why you're there, right? You all bring a lot of value to the institutions that you are part of. It's part of the agility of the system, madam, that is being talked about, right? The requirement in the industry is changing so fast that things get outdated very quickly, right? While this was not the case 10 years back, it was not the case 15 years back. All these systems were working fine, right? But today's context has changed. Today it is happening so fast, and that's where there's an urgent need of changing. As you said, right, that the change has to happen at the institution level, change has to happen at the government level, which we all know, we expect, may not happen. And that's where the last point which I was trying to make is this, that in whatever capacity, what change we can make, if we can take a pledge, right, as faculty, that I will try understanding this part, and I'll seeing this, that what best I can do in my area. I will identify 10 things and I'll create a list of those 10 things where I see this, that this change is completely in my control and I can do this, right? If it really requires me to going a sort of nearby organization or connecting with my some of the connects and see that some changes can be made, and I'll try understanding, taking that ownership of the change that we are talking about, right? Somewhere it has to start small, but this trigger has to remain everywhere in everybody's mind that things need to change. If it does not change, there's a book, Who Moved My Cheese. I'm not sure that if you have read that, but if you have, there's a series of books, right, on that, very very relevant in the current context. Please go through that series. That really makes a lot of sense. That's point is being relevant for the context, and for being relevant to the context, there's an effort required, and that the ownership of that effort lies with everybody in the call. Either me or you, everybody who's there, right, as a part of the faculty. Otherwise, if you wait for the larger system to change, that will take its own sweet time, madam.
So
Great
can I?
question. Sorry. Hi. Oh, sorry.
Yes. If you permit, may I say something, Rupesh?
Yes, sir.
There is a major change by the All India Council for the Technical Education, but it is not implemented at the ground level. In the notification issued in the 2019, that industrial training is mandatory for the faculty members to become a regular faculty members of any college, but it is valid for the affiliated college and approved by the All India Council for Technical Education. 1 week training is mandatory, and after completion of the 1 week training, if you need the promotion, then definitely you have to do the 42 days training in the industry. And still work is going on in the ground, and really you have raised the valid things, and you explained the things in a very excellent way, that definitely we should take the oath and as the pledge that definitely we have to change the India, or we have to fulfill the expectations of the Indian citizens. In 2047, India should be on the top. Yes, participants, please carry on question and answer.
Okay,
Please.
I have a
Thank you so much
question.
for this.
Madhvi here.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Lochan sir and also Chauhan sir. So we're talking about industry, and most of the industrial work has been done by people who are apprentice trained, not necessarily going through graduate or undergraduate degree. How would this kind of change impact them, or those drivers who don't even have a high school degree but have been driving as a profession? Are we, as an academic system, are we looking for those personnel's future, or is the focus mainly on a degree type of academia?
Yeah, if I take a shot on this, I certainly was talking about the focus has to shift from degree type of academia to the work focus, right? That's the whole intent of based on the technology changes that is happening. So, madam, what you're talking about, the apprentice, now they may not have the certification, that's fine, right? But if they get the skill of collaborating and working with the AI systems, that's absolutely fine. That's where the industry is expecting, that if we are bringing the intelligent system, right, we need to see this, that we are able to work together with the intelligent system. And that does not require certification. That requires only a proficiency and the training for some time, and that should be good enough. The key point is mental agility. The moment we say that, no, I have been trained for this and I will do this, right? I do not want to do something else because that's difficult and I have to relearn, then that's the problem, right? That will become a major problem. Here, the mental agility is very, very important. Certification will not matter. It's more about being ready to say that, yes, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to work, collaborate with the AI system, and whatever comes up, I'll take it up, right? If you are able to bring that view and the picture to the apprentice, it is absolutely okay to move forward in that direction.
Thank you for affirming that point.
Yeah, thank you.
Could you make a comment, Professor Chauhan? Professor Chauhan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes.
So I think it's an excellent presentation by Rupesh. TCS is a well-known organization. So I just want to, I think I totally agree with whatever the previous two speakers I was listening. They're wonderful. And also the questions that are raised, very relevant. So I just want to give a couple of examples. I was always wondering in early 90s, I realized when I'm teaching mechanical engineering classes, design, manufacturing, etc., I realized very quickly that I don't have experience in teaching at all. And then I'm not really a teacher without background in industry examples. I think most of us, many of us, like to have some background, and we all do some minor repairs at home and all that. So what I did, as soon as I joined Kettering University, that's in Flint, Michigan, I had an opportunity to self-motivate, as Rupesh was talking. We contacted, this is a co-op college, okay? It's a cooperative education at Kettering. So students alternate 3 months between industry and academia. So there are some problems with it, retaining knowledge, etc., etc. That's a different topic. But our students are really ready. They're already working. Now, not all institutions have that opportunity, except for in India, I know PSC College and also the MIT, Crumpet, they used to have the education. Madhu was asking about the talent improvement by the workers in industry. I just want to give an example. The first thing I did was to work for a Bosch company while also teaching at Kettering. We only teach 3 days a week. The other 2 days, I drove all the way to Bosch industry. I had an opportunity because Bosch is an alumni from Kettering. And I worked for them for 2 years on a Bosch professorship on airbag systems. Okay. I'm not an electrical engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer. So basically, we thought about some good aspects from 23 milliseconds deployment of airbag to gradual deployment concept, and also installing black boxes in cars, just like in airplanes, if an accident occurs. So those are some of the ideas I threw, and GM already installed some of those ideas, not because of me. They are already doing it. Now, that's one experience I have to do myself. Everybody's asking, faculty, how much are they paying you? I said, they're not paying me nothing. I'm driving 70 miles one way to go to Bosch to retrain myself so I can tell in the classes. That's one example. They did reimburse a little bit, of course. Bosch is a big company. The second one experience was GM, General Motors. I worked in General Motors as a faculty intern. Again, all faculty won't get this opportunity. I worked for 2 years again at General Motors while also teaching at Kettering. The third one was FCA in the assembly plant. So I think what Rakesh was saying, there's some self-motivation that's possible. Now, these are the big industries I work for and also other industries as a faculty intern. Now, when I taught vehicle dynamics class in Jodhpur, Rajasthan, Jodhpur at the time, IIT Jodhpur, they were in another campus. They're not in the IIT present campus. So there, and I'm teaching vehicle dynamics class. Now, to support what Madhavi was raising, now how do you teach vehicle dynamics class and make the students, the participants, faculty and students realize the importance of tolerances in a vehicle assembly that are important for driving, right? There are 6 or 7 modules in driving. So what I did was to take to a local mechanic shop. Now, the mechanics, we think they're not educated. They're very skilled. They work on different cars, not just Maruti, Swift. There's so many cars they work on every day, all the mechanics. They know a lot of issues, practical issues. If this bushing is missing, how the steering can affect braking systems. How do they affect, badly without those? So basically, we gave 100 rupees to the mechanics. They were so glad, not for money. Now they took a teacher role, not my role. I'm a professor, but they are teachers to me too. They told me, look at this component. If this is missing, they cannot drive. And all the theory that we are talking in the vehicle dynamics class, they made it practical to those participants. There are about 10, 15. We took them in 2 batches. It's only very close by, mechanic shop. Now, Rupesh was talking about some of the opportunities for mechanical. For electrical, computer science, I'm sure there are similar opportunities near your colleges, campuses. So he also mentioned retraining ourselves through free educational Udemy. There are many. I'm actually 77 years old now. I'm still learning. I'm giving seminars all over, free of cost. I'm very interested in learning myself, and I'm not really an expert in those. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about my lecture, but I just want to support what Rupesh and the previous speaker, Agrawalji, and Premanji, from the curriculum reform. That's not easy. It takes time. And flexible, what I would suggest is, even if you get industry, small project for a capstone class. Capstone class is not limited to a particular department. It should be interdisciplinary, right from beginning. Not one capstone. It's possible to have several capstones. Start informally. Involve electrical faculty in the capstone class that you are teaching in mechanical, and vice versa. You can be mechanical in electrical, computer science, because they need to have the background if it is a mechanical system like automotive. So you can do it on a faculty level. That doesn't require any permissions from a university. If you bring out some good example, I'm sure the principal, Director General like Chauhanji, they'll be very happy to know those. If you took the initiative, I'm sorry I took more than 5 minutes to comment. And I think all the suggestions are fantastic. TCS, I know the boilers, Ronipet, BHEL. I spoke to many people when I was in India. They will have opportunities to faculty and also students. And we have to take initiative. You don't need principal's permission for it. So by the same token, when I taught in IIT Gandhinagar as a faculty, visiting faculty, I took the students to Vallabh Vidyanagar. It's a gear manufacturing company. I'm teaching machine design class, FEA class, finite elements class. To me, it's not complete unless I show the students, not us, the students about tolerances in mechanical assemblies. Same thing in electrical. Same thing in business practices. There are so many tolerances as an assembly. So students have to realize that. That's very difficult unless we take them. I took them and I said, I'll pay. Now, the director, Jain, saw him. He's a wonderful man, Professor Jain. He said, Raghu, I'll give you a bus. Come back very quick, but don't stay until midnight because students can party after night. We don't want that. So I brought them back, actually. I think these are possible. The administration will definitely cooperate. And I'm not sure if it is useful, what I talked, what I shared. We can also pitch in some money.
Really, sir, I think this is very useful.
Very
Very good examples.